this right here isn't a workout, okay? We are not here to train today. Well, we're going to train after this, but for right now, this isn't a training session. This is a learning experience, all right? We're here to learn about planks. What I want to talk about is why you should plank, what plank's good for, and how to do it properly, all right? So planks are one of these things that everybody knows how to do, right? Everybody, okay? Gym, day one, do a plank, boom, everybody knows how to do it. Problem is, that's as far as people take it. And quite often they're done badly, quite often they're not applied properly, and in my opinion, a plank should be more than simply active rest between everything else you do. It's an exercise in itself, and a pretty damn good one, alright, at that. So let me justify that. So what do we do? Plank, right? Okay, boom, what does it look like? Everybody just does this. And then that's pretty much the end of the story. Why would you plank? Well, a plank is a way of creating tension through your whole body, okay? It's a way of stabilising yourself, it's a way of creating balance. It's a great way of finding out where weakness or strength is, especially around the middle of your body. It teaches you how to create, and this is probably the most important application of it, how to create a stable, strong base to build everything else off. If you can plank well, you can squat well. If you can plank well, you can press well. If you can plank well, you can do pretty much everything else because you know how to control the centre of your body that everything else is attached to. So that's a damn good reason to. Also, if you get very good at it and you do the best plank, which I'll show you shortly, you're going to be in a situation where you can create a lot of pressure and strength around your hips, around your back, around your abs, and around your shoulders. And for that reason, you're going to be able to put strength in those areas. So it's a good strength builder if you choose the right one. Which one is the right one though, right? You're sitting there going like, but there's millions of planks. You're right, there are millions of planks, okay? And later on when I do the plank workout, we're going to use a whole different bunch of them. There are tons of variations, and they all challenge you in different ways. Sometimes it's rotational strength, sometimes it's balance across your body, sometimes it's specific limbs, sometimes it's a little bit of cardio even, because you can move around within them. But which one is best? Well, I'm going to show you. If I can get my cat out of the way, because he's sitting on my notes. Hey, where have you been? Okay, which one's best? Right, well, we've got to start with the fundamentals. Okay, the fundamentals of this are position. Okay, position. When we're doing a plank, we're looking for alignment. Alright, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for alignment between some points. Alright, and our points are our ears, our shoulders, our hips, and our knees. So I want you to remember those points and think about this. If I was to kneel, and I'd like you to do this along with me, by the way, I'd like you to think about a line that goes right up through there, and then I'd like you to get as tall as you can on your knees. Alright? So when I come as tall as I can on my knees, I do a few things. I put my chest out and I pull my shoulder blades back. In other words, I'm tensing up my back. Alright? Then what I'm doing is I'm straightening everything out and going long with the neck. That is our starting position for a plank. Right? That's where I want to start, and we'll build from there. Now, it's all well and good doing it kneeling, but we really need to do it on the ground, right? Because it's a plank and all that. You're going to have to lean forward, hands on the floor, knees apart. Now that's the other thing, is a lot of people put their feet together, alright? I don't think that's a good thing to do, alright? I think a stable base is always best for this version of a plank, for this best version of a plank. So I want your knees apart, alright? I want your knees about shoulder width apart and your hands about the same distance apart as your knees. And we're going to start here. We're going to find that alignment again, guys. Okay, so we're going to push forwards, and we're going to go tall with the neck, we're going to look down at the ground, and we're going to try and put everything in alignment. Then what we're going to do is go tall. Okay, so I go tall, and my shoulder blades drop, and I squeeze my back. You see that? So that's me loose, that's me tall. Alright? Tight back. From there, I'm going to do the opposing muscle group. So I've got my lats tight, my back tight. I want to tense my abs. How do I tense my abs? I'm doing a plank anyway. How do we make it better? Well, what we do is we look at your hips, right? When we do a crunch, okay, you can visualize a crunch. Everybody can do a crunch. You're trying to squeeze like this. You're trying to squeeze almost like your face down towards your knees. I want you to do that ever so subtly. So if your hips are back here and your back's tight, I want you to shift your hips forward a little bit, okay? So from back there, bring it forward and in, and you should feel your abs switch on as soon as you do that. So now where are we? We've got our back tight, and we've got our abs tight. So we've shifted forward, and we're tight at the back, tight at the front. Go back down to the floor, practice that again. Okay? Knees are apart, head is tall, back is tight, abs are tight. Alright, now the minute I do that, okay, the minute that I go on both sides, I actually start to tremble, alright, and that's a really good sign that you're creating a lot of tension across your spine, alright, so we want to maybe that little bit of whoa feeling. Where do we go from there? Well, there's a couple more things. First of all, we don't really want to be doing it on our knees, okay, we want to be going between our hands and our feet, alright, so what I'd like you to do now is reset that position, back tight, abs tight. Then you're going to switch on your legs. So you're going to tense your quads as hard as you can to straighten out your legs. Okay, so we're going to drop this down here. We're going to go tall, back on, abs on, legs on. Alright? Now what I'm doing is concentrating on those three areas, my back, my abs, and my quads now, the front of my legs, and I'm tensing them as hard as I can. See me shake? That's because I'm tensing so hard, alright? If it was just to relax, I would stop shaking. So now we've got three areas, abs, back, quads. There's one more, alright? We're tight here, so we're going to try and be tight here, alright? What I'd like you to do in the final stage of this is tense your glutes as hard as you can. And I mean that, as hard as you can. Your glutes will draw your legs back. Your hip flexors and your rectus femoris will draw your legs forward. So what you've done is create a lot of tension across your hips. Combine that with the tension across your back. And you're cooking with gas. Alright? You get it, but get it right. Reset the position. Nice. Look at that alignment. So remember, we've got that straight line between our ears, shoulders, hips, and knees. We're going to go tall, so we're going to tighten our back. We're going to tighten our abs by shifting our hips forward. Shaking already. Quads on, very, very tight legs. Boom. Butt on, very, very tight butt. And there you have it. Hold that position. Keep all that tension there and drop. That is almost the best plank. And it's the best plank for a couple of reasons. It engages the most of your body that you can do. Okay, so we've got all our limbs in working at the same time, so we've got as much muscle active at the same time. It's stable, which means that we have the potential to create more force. All right, the more stable something is, the more power you can apply to it without it crumbling. And those are the two main reasons, actually. Those two alone are enough to justify that this is the best plank you can do if you want to build strength and you want to build stability through your whole body. There's nothing wrong with the other types, and we're going to do something later on, but they're more about control and balance rather than whole body strength. There is one last thing to do though, guys. Okay, so we're almost there, and we're going to go back through that routine one final time. TV switched on. I'm going to go tall, okay? Alignment. Hands on the ground. Find that alignment again. Are we there? I want to switch on the back. So we go tall. Head's facing the floor, remember. Go tall. Abs tight. So now I've got tension across my body. Legs tight. Okay, squeezing those thighs. Squeezing the butt. Last thing we do is we're going to try and push our hands and our feet together. Alright, so we're going to close the space between. So I'm going to pull down with my hands. I'm going to pull up with my feet. Alright, I'm literally trying to pull my hands down, pull my feet up. If you can do that, you've done it, okay? You've got the best plank that you can get. It's going to hurt like hell. You're probably not going to be able to breathe. You know, you have to take shallow breaths to stay through it. And I'm going to challenge you to say that I bet there's nobody who's watching this video that can do that plank for more than 10 seconds, all right? If you are pushing hard enough, you're going to feel like you're either going to give birth, poop yourself, or pass out, all right? That is how much pressure you should be applying to that. You cannot do that for more than 10 seconds. Nobody can, all right? I know there are world records for 5-hour planks. They are not doing that. They're just lying down on their elbows. I'm going to do this one last time so you can see the pain in my face, and that is us, all right? That is how we plank correctly. That's how we plank safely. That's how we plank effectively, which is the main point of this. Alignment, down, alignment again, back on, abs on, quads on, glutes on, pull it together. Whoa! Big, big, big high tension plank. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Drop down. And if that's not the hardest ab exercise that you can do, then you're not doing it right. Right, hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found that informative. I want you to practice that. It's going to take a few times going through. Obviously I can't see what you're doing. You might want to have a mirror so you can see yourself. Think about that alignment. If it doesn't feel hard, start the video again and try working your way up because you just missed something. Alright? Hope you enjoyed that. I'd like to see you back in 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to do a plank workout. It's going to be about 20 to 30 minutes long. We're going to use lots of different types of planks. Using this one as the basis, all right? Maybe that's a point I should have made earlier on. If you can do that plank well, all the other planks are super easy, all right? I promise you that. Thank you for joining me. Hope you found that informative. If you're a client,